Shalom, shalom. What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing? What's going on? Shalom, everybody. Blessings to you all. How you doing? Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's doing well. Shalom. Shalom, shalom. Grace, peace, and many blessings to everybody. Thank everybody for tuning in. Hope everyone's doing great on this day. Hope everyone's week is going well so far. I hope everyone is being within compliance of the laws of the land as well as honoring the laws of the Most High. And so I hope everyone's doing well. I'm not going to be on here long, but if you see the title, or many of you may have seen the title, are we praying correctly in a wicked nation? I think this is very important for us to view this and look at this. I'm not going to be long. I want to bring some things to your attention really quick. Blessings to you all. Shalom, shalom, and all that good stuff. Grace and peace to everyone that is tuning in. Thank you all for sharing. Hey, Sister Bougie, what's going on? Deacon Phillip, everyone that is tuning in. I'm more in a relaxed mode and whatnot. I think it's more of a conversation. I'm not going to preach with any intensity or anything like that, but I want to read some scripture. Some things that came to mind. Everyone is likening this epidemic or this pandemic to Egypt and the plagues and things of that nature going on in within Egypt and all of those things. And those are great comparisons and things like that. But this week, just the Most High has been kind of dealing with me more towards Sodom and Gomorrah, more so than Egypt. And with that said, I think this is more of not an Exodus going away party. I think this is more so the Most High seeing where his people at who are prayer warriors. I think that it's very important that prayer is also established. I think we have to understand that in everything that takes place, we cannot react. What I've been seeing, and I think that the Most High has really been showing that there's been a lot of reactionary that's going on in the earth with a lot of people and a lot of turmoil and things of that nature taking place. I think there's a lot of misinterpretation or misinterpreting the way things are moving and happening. And so I think it's very important that we really understand that responding always is the best move. Shalom to everyone. Responding is when we see things happening around us and we petition and pray to the Most High for answers, and we await for his voice to guide us in the direction that we should be going in, or how do we interpret what we're seeing that's happening amongst us, around us, and within a lot of our vicinity. Christ was a master at responding and not reacting. And I think we excuse me, I think we all have to look at that to get an understanding of not reacting but responding. And the reason why I say that is he's been taking me to Genesis to look at Sodom. I think many of us have to approach this thing, and I been kind of staying away from a lot of the corona talk and things that's going on. It is a season where it's the regular flu season, it's a regular common cold season, it's the allergy season. So a lot of people don't have corona, a lot of people do have allergies. especially if you live in Georgia. The pollen it's really at a high level, and so a lot of people are dealing with allergies and things of that nature. But because of so much fear, if someone simply just coughs or someone is showing, blowing their nose or scratching their eyes, the eyes are red, everybody just in a panic. Everybody's on the reactionary approach, and nobody's really responding. And so when I look at this, I want us to look at Abraham, for example. I want us to look at Sodom. The question is, are we responding? Are we reacting? Are we praying properly, being in a wicked nation? And what I mean is that we've been seeing for a long time. This is nothing new, beloved. We've been seeing for a long time that there's wickedness, and it seems as though it's been growing and festering and happening, and it seems that no one has been saying anything publicly about it. We know that there are prayer warriors who are out here who are, praying and things like that. And I think that now is the time that we have to make sure that we respond correctly and understanding. There's people all talking about, oh, well, death to America. And this is the reason why I want y'all to really pay attention in these days. You pay attention to who is who by the spirit and the character and the integrity that we possess. You know who a follower of Christ is, not because they say that they're a follower of Christ. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shalom, Sister Mary. But you look at the character, you look at the integrity, you look at the reactive response and how people respond within times that we're in. And I want y'all to pay attention to this, okay? Sodom was wicked. Gomorrah was wicked. This was something that was even known from Abram's time. He understood this. The people around knew that Sodom was wicked. Those that lived in Sodom, which was Lot and his family, knew Sodom was wicked. Many of you in America know that America is wicked. Shalom, Brother Ricky. We know that there's wickedness around the world. Is this the aha moment? Is this the death to America moment? How do you respond? Your response is going to be solely based off how you interpret the moment that you're in. Your response is going to be based on how do you interpret the moment that you're in. The Most High said, son, listen, I want you to go read Genesis. Don't read Exodus. It's not an Exodus moment. This is a Genesis 18 moment. I want you to go see Abraham and how Abraham responded in the time when it seems as though destruction was coming. So we're going to read Genesis 18. Sometimes reading and hearing it sometimes allows it to sink in. Because everybody used to hearing expounding. Shalom, daughter Sarah. Love you. Shalom, Pop Curry. Love you as well. Sometimes reading the scripture and hearing it in your being sometimes allows you to get it because you're not sitting there salivating for some revelation. The people of the Most High should be praying and asking the Most High for mercy, not for death. Everybody. The scripture teaches us that the Most High God is going to bring all things into judgment. Nobody's escaping judgment. But it's not your assignment, nor is it your job to declare what already the Most High has already laid forth. And many of us want to be like those in the scriptures, but don't want to walk the path that they walked. In fact, you haven't sacrificed the things that they sacrificed to be in the scriptures. Genesis chapter number 18, verse number 16. I'm going to read this. I'm not even going to expound. Then the men rose from there and looked toward Sodom. And Abraham went with them to send them on the way. And the Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham what I am doing? Since Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I have known him, in order that he may command his children and his household after him, that they keep the way of the Lord, to do righteousness and justice, that the Lord may bring to Abraham what he has spoken to him. And the Lord said, because the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grave, I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the outcry against it, and that come to me, and if not, I will know. Then the men turned away from there and went toward Sodom, but Abraham still stood before the Lord. I want y'all to listen to this. I want all of you to pay attention to this. Destruction is coming to Sodom and Gomorrah, but look at what Abraham does. Now, I want to ask you, are you doing and are you responding like Abraham? Verse number 22 of Genesis 18. Then the men turned away from there and went toward Sodom, but Abraham stood before the Lord, and Abraham came near and said, will you all destroy the righteous with the wicked? Listen to this. Will you destroy the righteous with the wicked? Y'all can't tell me that everybody we seeing on the news, you telling me everybody dying is wicked? You telling me everybody that's contracting the coronavirus, or whatever y'all want to say, 5G and all that other, that everybody's wicked? All of the disciples except John lost their life. Was Peter wicked when he was crucified upside down? Was Apostle Paul wicked for being put to death? See, y'all misinterpret everything into thinking because someone dies or because someone catches something, you think that they all are wicked. Abraham asked the question, would you destroy the entire city of Sodom? Because if Abraham was living today, Abraham would ask the question, are you going to destroy America? The Most High said he was going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. The Most High didn't say he was going to destroy the wicked in Sodom and Gomorrah. He said, I'm going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. Abraham was the one brought forth the separation. Will you destroy the righteous with the wicked? Because Abraham knew the city itself was about to be destroyed, no matter who was in the city. Now I ask you again, are you praying that the Most High not destroy the city for the righteousness' sake? Are you praying that the Most High spare America and every other country for the righteous sake? Or do you think this is your Exodus moment? You misinterpreted the moment. This ain't an Exodus moment yet. This is a Sodom and Gomorrah moment. It's a whole lot of people, even righteous folks, gonna die because y'all are misinterpreting the moment. Genesis chapter number 18 and verse 23. And Abraham came near and said, will you also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Suppose there were 50 righteous within the city. Would you also destroy the city? Will you also destroy the place and not spare it for 50 righteous that were in it? Far be it from you to do such a thing as this, to slay the righteous with the wicked, so that the righteous should be as the wicked. Far be it from you. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right? So the Lord said, now watch the response. Watch the response of the Most High, because Abraham responds. He doesn't react. His response to the Most High is that he gives mercy. Spare the city for the righteous, which means even those who are wicked in the city will be spared, because he's asking for the city to be spared for the sake of the righteous. Abraham didn't say kill the wicked and save the righteous. He said spare the city because of the righteous. But we don't get it. We're so thirsty for revenge and not understanding that your prayers are also killing the righteous. Also, you can get a joy out of something that you think you're going to possess. verse 26. So the Lord said, if I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sake. Listen to this. The Most High said, I won't even kill the wicked if I find 50 righteous. If I find 50, the wicked will survive. He's willing to show grace to the righteous, to the wicked because of the righteous. All because Abraham's response was, would you spare the city for the righteous sake? Which means give the wicked a chance for the righteous sake. That's not our prayer. Our prayer is kill them all until it hit our house. Then we want the city to be spared because of our own family and friends. I want y'all to think about that. Abraham is not even in the city of Sodom and Gomorrah, but he's praying that the Father spare the city that he's not even in, which means he's not even feeling the repercussions of it. So he's not selfish. This is what makes Abraham great. Not only is he the father of faith and the father of many nations, but he's not selfish. This is why he can put his son on the chopping block, because he ain't selfish like us. And there's a whole lot of selfish people verse 27. Abraham answered and said, indeed, now I, who am but dust and ashes, have taken it upon myself to speak to the Lord. Suppose there were 5 less than 50 righteous, would you destroy all the city for lack of 5? Shalom, Brother Anthony. So he said, if I find 45, I will not destroy it. Verse 29, and he spoke to him yet again and said, suppose there should be 40 found there. So he said, I will not do it for the sake of 40. Then he said, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak. Suppose 30 should be found. And he said, I will not do it if I find 30 there. And he said, indeed, now I have taken it upon myself to speak to the Lord. Suppose 20 should be found there. So he said, I will not destroy it for the sake of 20. Then he said, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak but once more. Suppose 10 should be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for the sake of 10. So the Lord went his way as soon as he had finished speaking unto Abraham. And Abraham returned to his place. Are we not understanding the moment? This is not an Exodus moment. This is a Sodom and Gomorrah moment. And until we understand truly, instead of studying the Bible for our rule and reign moment. We can really study the scriptures so that we can have a spiritual moment when these things occur. We find ourselves being immature, just like the disciples were before they became apostles. In Acts chapter number 1, they asked, is it our time to go back into rulership? And he says, that's not for you to know, but grow spiritually. And when you grow spiritually, you shall know the time. It makes no sense. This is one of the greatest moments in the day and age in which we live. It's a great evangelistic moment. But if we react, we're going to miss the moment. But I believe we have some Abrahams, some who interpret the moment for what it is, and who petitions to the Most High, would you spare America? Would you spare Italy? Would you spare countries around the world for the righteous sake? For the sake of the righteous. Would you spare? That's difficult for some of y'all because some of you have been fed wrong theology. Some of you have been fed and have been poured into by other types of spirits. And so it becomes difficult. Some would even watch this and even misinterpret it, even the teaching, and will still try to find a way to come up with some other type of understanding of what's being presented. But that's not my problem. That's not my issue. My assignment is to speak what thus saith Yah. And if we interpret it properly, we'll understand the moment that we're in. Maybe this is a great time to rethink things, because it can be your daughter. It can be your son. It can be your mother. And maybe the Most High is giving you an opportunity now before he visits your city. And maybe if we respond properly instead of reacting, the grace and the mercy will overshadow us. So I know there's some bad things and wicked things that's taking place in America and other nations. But I remember, as the Ruach brought it back to my remembrance, go back to Genesis. Go back to Bereshit. Go back to Abraham. And if you want this to stop, the people will pray the prayers of Abraham. Until next time, brothers and sisters, I love all of y'all with the love of Yah Mashiach. I pray that you cannot eat without eating from the word of Yah. For man should not live by bread alone, but every word that proceeded out of Yah. I pray that you cannot drink without drinking from the living waters that flows from Christ. Let the light that is within you shine bright outside of you. And remember to love one another so the world may know that we serve the true and living Yah. Until next time, shalom to you all.